I don't know about you, but I love beginnings of things. Like when you buy a brand new notebook, for example, and you open it up and it's a brand new full notebook and every single page is perfect. You open it up to the first page and it's a clean slate, a brand new start. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on my channel, the Save Money and More with Jan channel. How you doing today on this Sunday? If you happen to be listening to this the first time on the Sunday, and if this is any other time, thank you so much for being here. I have some ideas that have worked for me as little bits of reminders of certain things that I personally like to do in the beginning of the week, e.g., for example, on a Sunday, for example. All right, so some of the things I like to do, let me start off first and foremost. First thing I do on a Sunday is worship. Okay, I have my faith and I love to acknowledge my faith first thing on a Sunday morning. In fact, most days I acknowledge my faith, but especially and particularly on a Sunday. I'm just saying. So, having said that, first and foremost, okay, the next thing I like to do. These are not in any like particular time of day order, but just something that I like to do, and it could be at any time during a Sunday. Number one, I do like to go over my food, my stockpile, my non-food stockpile inventory. Is there something I should buy? Do I have a hole or a space in something that I might have used up in the past I never replaced? Kind of a good idea every once in a while. And for me at this time of the week, it's just something that I like to do. It doesn't take long at all, and it doesn't take long at all because it's something that I kind of do on a regular basis, so that the replacement item needs to just simply be replaced. It's not a big deal. I don't let it grow into this like massive thing, but that's me. All right. Another thing, I don't mind cooking extra on a Sunday. For example, let's say I make one meal for now. I will take half of it because if I'm already going to make a mess, right, I may as well get my maximum out of the mess that I'm making. So making one meal for now and freezing the other half for the future, to me, is absolutely time well spent. I don't care to just make single serve meals, so almost any dish that I make is a multiple use meal dish. So I make one meal for now, for example, and I half it and freeze the other half for a future date. All right. I like to take a few hours, as I mentioned earlier, for faith-based stuff. Usually I do that first thing in the morning. Now, some people call it worship, some people call it services, meditation, whatever it is. It's really important for that person's, in their priorities of their lifestyle, to take some of that moment, especially, I don't know what it is for me, Sundays are, every day is special, but there's something super special about Sunday. All right. Next, spend time either in person or on the phone or some other method with family and slash or friends. That's important. Spending social time with your loved ones, with your friends, with your family, very, very important. Does not have to be fancy, does not have to be expensive. We go over those things all the time. And it's true. It's true. It's just a matter of choices, right? This is really a good option to consider. I mean, I know we're living in tumultuous times, literally, like literally, but taking a complete day off, if it's possible, to separate yourself from, let's see, world events that could be very stressful. Like, say, something, that stressful world event will more than likely still be there tomorrow, for example, on a Monday, but something about a Sunday, kind of like maybe push it to the side. Like, let's say it's your spinach on the plate when you were a kid and you kind of moved it over to the side of your dish, praying that your parents didn't notice anyway. Have you ever done that? Looking back, did you ever do that when you were a kid? If there was something on your plate you didn't like you might like mashed potatoes, but you weren't too much of a fan of another veggie, and perhaps you thought that if you kicked it over to the side on the plate and shoveled it under the plate, not realizing 1 minute later, your parents may pick up the plate and there's your whole meal on the bottom on the table. Yeah, I did it. It didn't work. Anyway, all right. Um, I really do believe in this. Surround yourself with happiness at all times, if possible. I mean, you know, certain life events could be not so thrilling, not so happy, but especially because we do live in these tumultuous times, surround yourself with things that are inexpensive, happy, and upbeat, like music. Music, and I've mentioned it several times in other videos, but it's the truth. And right here on this platform, tap, tap, and tap, put on your favorite stuff, put it on in your background, play it on your television, do it on a bigger screen, on your best computer where the sounds are great. And enjoy the music, enjoy the sounds, happiness, things that you like that take you mentally to maybe a more favorable time in the past, for example. I'm just saying. All right, next. Here's something that I always recommend to the person that is kind of scared of looking at their numbers. If you happen to have a quiet minute on a Sunday, for example, I know it's work, but just a little bit. It's not like, just take a look at your numbers for a few minutes. Maybe just put your toe in the water, making sure it's quiet, no distraction. I mean, like, let's say you already spent your time with your family, your friends, and then you have like a moment, like a quiet moment. Maybe put on some relaxing music, nothing overwhelming. Okay, then you may want to like give a listen to that music, and at the same time just look at your numbers. They're not going to bite you. I promise you, they are not going to jump off your computer screen and bite you. I promise you, they're just numbers. And I believe familiarity in this case is a really good thing, because people, I don't know, we hear so many crazy things about big numbers, on TV and in the news, and then sometimes we put our own stuff on the back burner. That could be a mistake. And sometimes it's the smaller numbers that just might, begin to get some people into the rabbit hole of debt. Is there something you could fix about your budget? Track your spending. Look back at last month. Okay, we're still in the really beginning time of the month. Look back at last month and ask yourself, is there something better that I could consider doing this month? Hmm. Then you look back at your expenses and you say, did I really have to eat out, for example, that many times last month? So like it's just a good moment of, let's say, polite confrontation with your own numbers. And I do think that people are afraid to look at their own numbers. And I think that could be a big problem. I'm just saying, sort of like creeps up on people. You see where I'm going with this? And then finally, acknowledge the three L's. Janet, what do you mean by the three L's? Live, love, and laugh. Years ago, how many people out there might remember a pendant or a necklace charm or even on a bracelet? This was very popular in the early 80s or the late 70s. Live, love, and laugh. That was so awesome. Those three words, live, love, and laugh. You know what? Those are timeless and they're all good. Live your life, have a good laugh, and love. And that's what it's all about. So there you go. Well, I just want to take a moment to let you know that I certainly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to this broadcast. And I really and truly hope that I helped at least one person with this message today.